Good day all you wonderful people, welcome to Adventure Together. My name's Al, Trail Lookout, and today I have a few errands to run and then I'm going to get back to trail as soon as possible. Hopefully before 10 o'clock, but we'll see what happens.
The hostel has a bike I can use. They have many bikes, but all of them are broken in some way, and this is, although it is broken with a broken seat and a broken handlebar, the tyres are still fully pumped, so I guess I'm going to the post office on this. So let's go and see what Lake City looks like. This is Silver Street. This is a shopping street, I think, but looks like nowhere's open yet. Let's go the other way. See what that side of things looks like. Interesting plant pots up in the trees. Very cool. Stuffed pair of jeans. I'm just here to pick up a package.
Yes, you look like a hiker. Do you see something that looks familiar to you?
The one that says Marriott on it, that's wrapped up in priority tape in the middle.
Okay, I see it. All right.
I got my box. General delivery, Lake City. Now to go to a bakery, apparently. In the bakery, I grabbed one of these loaves, and they've got all of this sweet stuff. None of it is vegan friendly, unfortunately, just the loaf that I got. But you got all those delicious treats and stuff on top, and over on the savoury side, all of these breads here. And this is menu number 1, and this is menu number 2. And they say they've been in business here for 37 years, so I bet they've perfected all the recipes, but I'm gonna just have this bread and pack this out with me and have it on the road. Up near the bakery is the country store, and I'm just going to go in and grab some couscous. Inside the country store, they've got fairly cheap fuel canisters, a range of cookies and other things, and everything you need for a resupply, including gnaw sides and jambalaya, these things here. And they've got couscous, which is good because I just grabbed one for lunch. But they've also got pastas, mashed potatoes, Idahoans, everything you need. Except a selection of bars. There's no bars really. Well, ladies and gentlemen, on the road trying to hitch. A lot later than I thought. I'm closer on to midday because I sent some food and I had a little bit left over from my last stretch, so I'm trying to at the moment get a hitch, but it's proving difficult, just like hitching in here. Well, a man driving this picked me up, but he says that it's a little slow up to the pass, so we're going in that. I do have some bad news about the $6 baguette that I got. It was not good, so I left it. So this beautiful lake is called Lake San Cristobal, and it was created when a landslip called the Slumgullion landslip happened 1,000 years ago, and this landslip is still ongoing, adding more and more land to the blockage of this lake. So we got back to the pass, we're here. Time to start walking, but it's closer to 1 o'clock and 15 miles looks out of the question. But we can do it. We just have to walk until very late. But the first thing I've got to do on those 15 miles is walk uphill for about 2,000 feet, I think. Oh, this is going to be horrible. Wow, Colorado really does build their trails so they go straight uphill. I'm exhausted, but I'm not even 10 minutes in. I think that pass is where I'm going up and over. I think that's my next stop. Only another 1,200 feet to go. Here we go, just climbing up this valley and hopefully get to the top pretty soon. And wow, it's stark here. There's nothing here, it's barren. It's getting very warm, so I'm going to roll up these sleeves. But I want to show you something about where these sleeves have been. Well, can you see that? The difference in tan line, where I've worn the sun hoodie since New Mexico, and I've had that loop over my thumb and my knuckles and fingers exposed. I guess it shows that it works. We're at the top, finally. And at least it was snow free. I can't say that about the rest of the landscape. It's like a plateau up here, nice and flat. Hopefully I will be able to make some miles. So that's looking back towards where we came from, the San Juans there in the distance. There are so many of these snow patches and they're so wide that you can't really go round them. So you just have to walk through it. And that leaves us with some very wet feet. So I just climbed around here and do a 180. More climbing to go. See that scar along the side? That's me. So I saw that track up there and I didn't like it. So I went down to this one and I cut this one. And that took me about 15 minutes to make that tiny gap because the state of the slope is no chill. More and more and more snow to cross. My feet will never be dry. So, ladies and gentlemen, if I did not explain this before, I'm going to be meeting somebody at 12 o'clock on the 15th of June at Monarch, and that is 100 miles away from the pass I started my hike at earlier this afternoon. It is now the 11th. My plan was to do 15 today, 25 tomorrow, 25 the next day, 25 the next day, and then 10 on the 15th. But the conditions at the moment, I'm just going so slow. And there's another reason, it's very personal, so you'll forgive me if I don't go into it in the vlog. But there's another personal reason that I need to get to Monarch on the 15th. And that's very important to me as well. It actually makes me kind of sad right now that I'm going to be cutting my mileage short, because every mile I do less than my budget, especially today, trying to get that good start with 15 miles. It means that the goal of
doing the things that I want to do on the 15th is further and further away, and I'm determined enough to make it happen, or at least try. But it's really hard when you're traveling at 0.6, 0.7 miles an hour because you're cutting steps into a vertical slope of snow. And these conditions are nobody's fault. I don't mean to sound like I'm blaming anyone. I'm not blaming the CDTC for routing the route along steep cliffs, knowing that there's going to be snow. I'm not blaming anyone at all. It's just that's the trail, and I have to do the trail. That's just it. I came out here for a challenge, and this is a challenge, and I'm facing it, and I'm going to push myself through. But when you feel like sometimes it's out of your hands whether or not things come together, it's saddening. But stay tuned, watch the next couple of days, and let's see if we can make it, because I'm really determined. I'm going to do it. But it's just a sad start to the day because I've been going now for about 5 hours and made it 7 miles. 7 miles in 5 hours. How am I expecting to do 25 miles a day when that's the case? And also it leaves more. Every mile I don't do today is a mile I have to make up over the next couple of days. So many beetle-kill trees in this area. So many. And I was speaking to somebody in town about it, and they said that there's nothing that can be done in our lifetime to stop this beetle. But hope is there, because they said there's stuff that can be done, it's just not going to take effect in our lifetime. So we're not going to see the landscape repopulated with brand new trees. We're still going to see all of these dead ones, but apparently there's things that can be done. So hopefully we can slow down and eradicate this beetle from the environment, and go back to having, or at least giving future generations, a landscape that was enjoyed, some time ago, decades ago. You can see now that I've come out into a clearing just the amount of trees, and if you look, it seems the majority of trees that are still alive are young trees. I say that as I pan over to larger trees, but yeah, certainly the young trees have been left alone, and it's the taller ones there that are all dead. So, ladies and gentlemen, about to tackle the final boss for the day. I'm about 12 miles in, and I've now got a hill climb that is 1,000 feet over a mile, which is insanely steep, and doesn't have a single switchback. It is straight up this mountain. There is nothing. You can just see the path ahead of you and just go straight line all the way up. And yeah, I'm not looking forward to it. I know I'm going to be taking a lot of breaks, but this mile is probably going to take me an hour. It's crazy steep, and over the hill and then back down again. That seems to be the theme for today. Either traverses on snow, or up and over a hill and back down the other side all the way to the bottom and back up again over valleys. But that is the Continental Divide. No complaints, just describing what's happening. It is getting late, and I think I might not make that 15 that I hope for, but we'll see what happens after I spend an hour climbing up and over that monster of a landmark. Well, let's get it done. Standing here all day is not going to do anything. Just got to the top. And of course, there's a huge sheet of snow. What a welcome. Get down this if you can. It's a beautiful view though. The way the light is on those lower hills is incredible. I really love how that is the only spot on the mountain that's illuminated. It looks really cool. What a beautiful ray of light coming through and hitting this valley. It's absolutely stunning. Walking down the river again. Oh, did I say river? I meant trail. This fallen sign indicates that that is the CDT, and 180 degrees behind me is the CDT. But this is the Creed cutoff, and for people who did not want to do the San Juans in their entirety, they would have taken that cutoff and come up here. There are two tents that are further down the trail, so I'm assuming they have also taken it. But it is close to 8 o'clock, and that is going to be my tent spot. I don't think that my feet are doing so well. The San Juans have pretty much torn up my shoes. Look how muddy and wet they are. It's absolutely soaked. I mean, just walking down a river for the last mile and a half was not the greatest thing to dry out my shoes. It was the opposite of that. But yeah, wet shoes, wet gaiters, wet socks, wet feet. All very cold as well. Well, ladies and gentlemen, didn't make it 15 miles, but that's because I decided to stop here at 14.5 miles, so only half a mile short, and I'm satisfied with that. I started very late and I finished very late because it's like 8:30 now, and I think it's about time to sum up the day. Well, Link City was pretty cool to do a little bicycle tour of. I really enjoyed where I stayed last night, and I think that was one of the highlights of the trail, or at least off trail for me. You know, one of the best town stops. I got everything done. I got to refill my fuel canister, and I got to do a lot of things, so I'm really happy. So the next stop is Monarch at near Salida. Having done 14.5 miles, I'm confident that we can do this. I know earlier on I was a little bit sad and downhearted because I had only come 7 miles in 5 hours, but we put the afterburners on and managed to push it, and by hook or by crook, as they say, I'm going to make sure I can be where I need to be on the 15th. So that's my mission, and I'm looking at campsites tomorrow around the 25 to 30 mile mark, and we're going to push as hard as we can. My feet are absolutely freezing. My socks are completely wet. I was able to wring them out and water was just pouring out. My shoes are soaked, my gaiters are soaked, so tomorrow will be started with cold feet into wet socks into wet shoes, and it's like the Sierra all over again. So I guess that's everything I have for you today. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you in the next one.